What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So, Survivor Season 49 is here, and we are back with the best game on television with 18 new castaways hitting the beaches of Fiji for the adventure of a lifetime. Now, we're here to recap Episode 1 of Survivor Season 49 that premiered on Wednesday night. And before we do jump in, if you could, just hit that like and subscribe button down there. We'll have more Survivor content on the channel throughout the season. If you're new to the channel here, we do recap every single episode of Survivor. Usually comes out every Thursday morning, but we'll be here all season long recapping everything. If you are new to the channel as well, too, we do have our season preview and winner prediction up on the channel. It should be the last video before this video on the channel. So if you want to, go check that out, see who I believe will be winning this season after Episode 1. Kind of mixed feelings. Feel comfortable about the group that I mentioned in that preview video, but still early on, but make sure you check that out, but just make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video all season long. So starting out with our marooning, scary movie, monster theme type vibes to start out. Still love Christina's energy. Spoiler alert, if you didn't see that video, Christina is my winner pick for this season. Jake's story as well about his dad, this being the last season that he can fully see of Survivor going. It is expected to go blind at the end of this year, so he said this was the last full season of Survivor that he would be able to see and wants to make his dad proud. Love Jake's story. The marooning challenge, the yellow tribe wins, gets the pot, machete, and flint and head back to camp. The blue and red tribe have to compete for their supplies to get started out. Rizzo goes for the red tribe, Alex for the blue tribe. At the yellow camp, the vibes are high. Just won the marooning challenge, got their tribe supplies. Jason as an alternate as well. He made some big moves too in that marooning challenge to help his tribe win, as he was like, I didn't even know I was going to be on this season of Survivor until like yesterday. So that was a cool moment for an alternate. We love the alternates here on Survivor. But Steven opens up about his hearing aids as people start to notice that he is wearing hearing aids, and I think that helps break the ice even more with the tribe. The blue tribe gets right to work, building their shelter, but obviously it is quite hard, not having a machete, and it's tough to do most things, not just building a shelter, as they are finding out. Sophie tries to align with most people, it seems like, but Jake is mostly someone that she was looking at coming in because she wanted a meat shield. The red tribe, Savannah's cool with the having fun and stuff, but she also wants to get down to business and, get to work. As she said, they already lost the challenge, so wants to get things rolling, but not telling them that she used to work in news. Doesn't want them to perceive her as someone who is good with words. Nate's worked on Marvel movies, like some big Marvel movies. He kind of tried to minimize it, though. Just said, yeah, like I worked on Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, like whatever, but didn't mention like Black Panther or the Captain Americas, stuff like that he mentioned in his confessional. So he's trying to minimize that, play that down as well. Sage and Shannon hit it off really well to kick things off. Rizzo and Alex arrive for their battle after losing the marooning challenge. Alex is out to a big lead. Rizzo is feeling cooked, as he said, because he is not confident in doing the puzzles. He even said to his tribe before he left for the challenge that, guys, if it's a puzzle, we're cooked. The first part of the challenge was you had to collect 10 coconuts and get the puzzle pieces out of them. He forgot one of the coconuts back at the starting point, but he forgot to crack one of them. So missing a piece, that's going to cause a hindrance in him being able to complete the puzzle that he's already struggling with. But Rizzo used Alex's puzzle to help build his, but Alex is out there digging and he can't find the ship wheel. And finally, Rizzo finds the missing coconut, heads out to dig. Rizzo actually finds the ship wheel and wins the challenge and gets the tribe supplies after Alex had what seemed like a 10-15 minute lead. I know it probably wasn't that long. The editing made it seem like that, but had a huge lead on Rizzo. And he had his puzzle like maybe 10% complete when Alex finished his to go out. Rizzo comes back, obviously, yes, using Alex's puzzle to, guide him along, but still comes back, so the red tribe gets their tribe supplies, and Rizzo heads back to camp with their tribe supplies, and Alex gets back to the blue tribe camp without the supplies, and Jake actually fills in Alex, because he got a good vibe from him just off the marooning, and fills them in basically on the bromance that he's already formed with Alex, even though they haven't really formally met besides the marooning and on the boat. And they want to include Sophie in that alliance, I guess, if you will. Jake tells the two of them that his wife is literally giving birth next week. And very emotional. Like, we saw this kind of, if you watch any of the, preseason videos, he talked about that his wife gave him her blessing to come out into Survivor, even though she's literally going to be giving birth, like what he said, like the week after this first week here. So that was really touching for Jake to open up even more to them, and I think build some more trust with them too as well. Over at the Yellow Tribe, Matt has the Boy Scout skills, but he's trying to keep his mouth shut with doing some stuff like making the fire. Everyone else is trying, and he's just kind of standing there. Some of them, one of them kind of notices and like, hey, like, do you want to do this? Like, you can do this. And he finally does get the fire started for them as the sun is starting to go down, so they are good for the night, and they do have fire over there at the Yellow Tribe. The Blue Tribe, Jake wants to be known as the Shoe Bandit. Says he's going to hide someone's left shoe every day. Says 99% humor, 1% chaos. That was kind of funny. See if that continues. Annie, good energy, but becoming maybe a little bossy, and puts a target on her back by going off on her own. Rule number 1, to not do on the first couple days of Survivor. Alex talks with Annie and wanted to come into the game and have someone like Annie, so they seem to form an initial connection. But over at the Red Tribe, Joanne, Savannah, and Shannon have a good convo at the water well. And they're looking for one more person, so they kind of go down the list to see who else they can bring in to that 3-person connection early on. The Yellow Tribe, vibes are still very high. Steven and Matt have a good initial connection, and Steve-O also approaches Jason about working together. Well, he's maybe telling everyone he loves them and wants to work with them, but that's just what you do on the first couple days of Survivor. Steven talks about struggling with imposter syndrome growing up, and sometimes, still struggles with it currently. Like, he doesn't know if all these people are, maybe behind his back saying like, oh, this person needs to be the first person to go. So he opens up about that. Over at the Blue Tribe, Sophie is a little jealous of Jake and Alex's bromance at this point. Jeremiah talked with Jake about a 4-person alliance with Alex and Sophie. Nate and Savannah on the Red Tribe are talking about the rubber hitting the road here sooner or later. Seems like they're both ready to kind of get things rolling here. They mentioned Rizzo and Shannon as other names that they could possibly work with. Joanna's struggling to make fire and gets a little emotional too, because he said he had been working at it for I think about the year and a half before coming onto Survivor. So he was a little emotional, and obviously emotions are high early on in the game in Survivor. We understand that. Savannah thinks that's a red flag, though, for him being emotional and not someone that would possibly want to align with. We get to the first immunity challenge, and Survivor toolkits are up for grabs. Everyone's in it at the puzzle at the end, but the Yellow Tribe finishes first, the Red Tribe second, so the Blue Tribe will be heading to Tribal Council. So now the Blue Tribe is trying to figure out back at camp who's going to be the first to mention a name. The targets seem to be Annie and Nicole, in their terms, trying to keep the strongest tribe possible. Everyone is telling Nicole that it's Annie, but it seems to be Nicole. She's trying to suss out who's lying, but she said she's willing to play her shot in the dark. But they do tell Annie the plan, that they told Nicole that it is her, but it's really, still Nicole. Annie's like, well, so what if we lose tomorrow? Am I next then? And Annie brings up to Sophie wanting to get out either Jake or Alex. So now they're really debating, Annie or Nicole. We head to the first Tribal Council, and lots of laughs, actually. And for Jeff kind of said, for being 0-3 in challenges. But it's Survivor. It's supposed to be fun. Like, yes, it's competitive, but I really like the laughs on this team. I really like the vibes of the tribes early on in this season. But we go through Tribal Council. Jeremiah kind of spills the tea that they're down to 2 people. He kind of just like, we're weighing options between 2 people, strengths and weaknesses, or however he worded it. But we get to the vote, and Nicole goes home. Now, I did like Nicole. Obviously, didn't get to see a whole lot this season, obviously going home episode 1, but I thought it had good energy, and whatnot. Could have been, I think, could have provided some good moments throughout the season of Survivor, but she ends up going home first here on Survivor Season 49. So we look ahead to next week. Shoe Bandit continues, and Annie acting like a Karen, supposedly. I'm curious if, seeing some of that, I'm curious if they possibly go back to Tribal Council again, and if it is her, things could start to get real tight, and we could figure some things out real early with that tribe. But overall, as I said, you feel bad for anyone who goes home first. You feel bad any time anyone goes home. Obviously, this is everyone's dream that's out there. So feel bad for Nicole. Enjoyed her on this episode of Survivor. But there we are. The first episode of Survivor, Season 49. If you watch my preseason preview and predictions, still feel pretty okay. My winner pick didn't get a lot of screen time. I'm not going to read too much into that. We've had some winners in the past that didn't get a lot of early season screen time, but came on later. So overall, yeah, I'm really excited. Like the vibes of everyone on the season so far. But that'll do it for this one. We'll be back next week with an episode 2 recap. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.